everyone. Hello, can you hear me? Awesome. Are you all having a great time? Awesome. So I am doing this under protest because I was voluntold to do this session. So we're talking about your LinkedIn profiles. This is like something that came up in our planning committee that was extremely important. And I agree with them. It's extremely important for several reasons. The reason is that if you're not building credibility, you're basically easy to forget. And this happens all the time. What I am seeing is a lot of times, the first time I meet somebody, the first place they go is my LinkedIn profile. And if I don't have a picture, if I don't have information about myself, if they can't find anything about me, it's not even the about page of their company profiles. They're going right to LinkedIn. They want to know all about you on your LinkedIn profile. And if your LinkedIn profile is a blank canvas, if it says nothing about you, then basically they are turned off and want to walk away. They're going to go look for the people who actually will give them information about who they are, what they do, who they work with, right? In various different ways. So it's extremely important, and this is why our planning committee was like, these are all individuals in this room on our hybrid event who need to be seen for the things that they do. So how do you do that? You build credibility. Your profile on LinkedIn is your snapshot. It says so much about you, and it's so much more than what you think it is. You build credibility in two different ways, right? So a lot of people forget and they just post, but they don't look at their LinkedIn profile itself and actually say, okay, I need a great headline, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. You need a great about, and that's not just like, and we'll dig into that a little bit more, but we'll get to that. It's your experience, and it's featured content, which a lot of you don't even realize you can feature the content. You can feature things that you do. And in the other way, it's activity, right? Posts, comments, interactions, engagement. It's DMs, right? Those direct messages that you're receiving, those inbox messages, you don't realize that that counts towards something. The LinkedIn algorithm is looking at all of that and actually taking that to say, this person has depth. This person is sending information. And it's all the conversations you're having separately. In 2026, right, LinkedIn looked at using AI, of course. They started looking at more and more of the profiles. And what they've done over the last few years is really interesting. So over the last few years, what LinkedIn would do is, if you commented on something, they would rank you. They would give you a three points for commenting on something. For reposting something, they would give you an additional points. Those matter even more. If you just hit that like button, that laugh button, whichever button you want to do, that reaction, it gives you 1 point. It doesn't really count for anything. If you're clicking through, right, if you're reading that article that someone wrote, it actually looks at that and says, this person is reading information. They're digging into that. And what we saw is, over the last few years, I've been working with brands, both companies and personal profiles, and we've been working with them to build out their brands even further. And the great thing is, like one of my clients saw 3,000% in a 30-day period, right? He started to see how he could increase just the conversations, the things he was doing, the information he was putting out there. More and more people were interacting with him. I recently was invited to an annual kickoff for a client. And it was amazing because one of the individuals wanted to argue with me about building his personal brand. Why do I need to do it? And at the end of the day, he came back a few weeks later, wrote an article on LinkedIn, and it got a little bit of interaction, but he was hooked. And then he did it again, and more and more people started reaching out to him and talking to him and engaging with him on the content he was writing. And now, every other week, he's sending me an article to review. So your profile is a strategy. And even though you all may not think it, you're all business developers, internally and externally. You're constantly building business. So you have to have a headline that's a value statement, not your job title. That is not a headline. That is not who you are. You have to speak in first person. This is not a resume. Your LinkedIn is personal. Make it personal. Make it about you and about the other person when they read it. You should share your experience, but share it more about goals, the things that you've accomplished, the objectives that you have, the things you want to do. And you should feature the proof, right? Hey, I am here. I'm speaking at this conference in front of 4,000 people, right? I won an award. I wrote this article. I am featured in a journal at the law school. Those are extremely amazing things to accomplish. So when you look at your headline, and I want to say, how many people have a headline that says, hey, I am a lawyer? So homework assignment for everyone is to go back to your LinkedIn profile and kind of determine, and feel free to use Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, but tell them what you do, what your title is, and then go back and fix it. I help B2B brands grow. I help them to build up their business. I help them to get seen. Those are the things I do. I help them accomplish that. I am a DEI advocate. I love to talk to people about that. I am a marketer in every sense of the word. I market people, I market brands. That's who I am. So you want to talk about who you help, what you solve, why it matters. Why do they care? Write in first person. Your about section should not be boring. It should not ever be boring. You should look at that about section and kind of determine, what do I want to tell people I do? Tell them a clear story about your journey, where you've been, and be human, be strategic. Talk to them as if you're having a conversation. Experience plus featured equals show, don't tell. How many people even have featured content on their profiles? Anybody? Awesome. So all of you have the ability to show featured content under your main profile of who you are, as well as under each job that you've held. So you can show case studies and other information there. If you're not doing it, you should go back and kind of say, these are the things I wrote. This is where I spoke. Here's a photo. Here's a video. I did this podcast. For every job experience you have, you can feature that content. So if you're not posting, if you're not updating your profile, if you haven't updated your profile in like 5 years, LinkedIn is going to ghost you. It's going to be like, oh, this person, they're not doing anything. They're going to leave you like a bad date. Post with purpose. You don't need to be viral. Every time I hear somebody say, oh, I got 3,000 impressions on this post, I'm like, yes, and why does that matter? Did one person reach out to you and have a conversation with you? That matters more than 3,000 impressions. Did one person want to connect with you and engage with you? So share a lesson that teaches, reflect on something that happened. It could be something even personal. Ask questions. There's polls. There's other things there. Engage that way. And translate. All of you know how to translate things. Learn how to translate what you do and share that with other people to share your knowledge, the same way we're doing it today. So I'm going to give you some homework assignment for anyone who wants to do it. 30-day professional reset. Your action plan starts today. So what you need to do is take a photo at this conference. Even if you're online, take a photo from wherever you are, share it, or share a tweet or something else from here. You've learned this today. I did this today. This is what they were speaking about. Update your headshot and rewrite headline. Rewrite about in first person. Refresh your experience with measurable goals. Add 3 featured items. Comment 3 times per week. And in depth, right? Not just like, oh, congratulations. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't go anywhere for you. Post 1 time per week. I don't need you to post 5 times. And post an insight from the conference. That's your homework for today. So don't be silent. Don't get ghosted. Stand out. Show up. Shape your career.